In a green valley, there was a small village. In that village lived a little girl named Anila. She had big, shiny eyes and a smiling face that everyone loved. She loved to chase butterflies, feed the birds, and play with her dolls under the trees. But deep inside, if only I had some magic, everything would be so easy and beautiful. The villagers called her the fairy-like girl because she always imagined magical stories. One evening, when the sun was setting and birds were flying back to their nests, Anila was sitting in the garden, swinging. Suddenly, a strong breeze blew. The trees began to shake as if someone was playing music. Anila stood up, a little scared. A bright light came down from the sky. In the middle of the light stood a beautiful fairy. Her wings were shining like silver, and in her hand was a magical wand glowing like stars. The fairy spoke in a soft voice. "Anila, your innocent wishes have called me here. Today you will get 3 wishes. But remember, every wish does not always end the way you expect." Anila's eyes lit up with joy. She jumped and said, "Really? 3 wishes? Wow, this is like a dream! My first wish is to have so many toys that every child in the village can play with them." The fairy waved her wand. Suddenly, colourful toys started falling from the sky. Dolls, cars, puzzles, balls, balloons, teddy bears, trains, everything. The children of the village came running. They laughed and played, jumping around happily. The whole village was filled with joy, but after a while, the children started snatching toys from each other. One shouted, "This is mine!" Another cried, "No, I took it first." Fights started, and toys began to break. Anila stood there, shocked and sad. The fairy said, "See, Anila, too many things do not always bring happiness. Sometimes they bring problems. All right, next time I will think carefully before I wish." After thinking for a while, Anila said, "My second wish is that my village becomes the most beautiful village in the world, with lights, flowers, and wonderful fragrance everywhere." The fairy waved her wand. The whole village changed. The houses began to shine with golden lights. Trees were covered with flowers. Blue grass grew on the ground, and the air was filled with sweet fragrance. The people clapped with joy. Children said with wonder, "Wow! Our village looks like a magical land." But soon, outsiders started coming to the village. Some began picking flowers, some cutting the grass, and some trying to collect the golden light in bottles. The peace of the village disappeared. People started shouting. Children got scared, and the village was no longer calm. Anila looked at the fairy and said, "This is not right either. What is the use of beauty if it takes away our peace?" The fairy lovingly said, "Now you have only one last wish left, and this one will be the most important." Anila sat quietly under a tree and thought, when there were too many toys, there were fights. When the village became beautiful, peace was lost. So where is true happiness? She closed her eyes and said from her heart, "My last wish is that everyone in my village always lives with love and friendship. No fights, everyone should share and stay happy together." The fairy smiled and waved her wand. A soft light spread everywhere, entering everyone's hearts. The children began to share toys, the elders started helping each other, and the whole village filled with laughter and peace. The elders of the village said, "Anila has taught us that true happiness is not in things, but in love and kindness." The fairy hugged Anila and said, "This is the kind of magic that never ends. You have asked for the most beautiful wish." The fairy spread her wings, flew towards the sky, and disappeared among the stars. Anila smiled and began to play with her friends, and happiness spread all over the village. The lesson of the story is, true happiness does not come from things or wealth, but from love, friendship, and caring for each other.